This episode of See Indonesia will take you all the way to the southern coast of Java in Tranquil, Sukabumi, where we'll bathe under the waters of the majestic Cikanteh waterfall, learn to harvest a long-forgotten crop, and explore mysterious ancient caves. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia! Back again in lovely Sukabumi. After a busy 3 days in Situ Gunung, we're ready for our next adventure. However, we won't be leaving Sukabumi behind just yet.
So in part 1, we showed you everything that Situ Gunung has to offer, but now we're going to go even further south where the weather's a little bit more sunny. We get the suns out, we get the guns out. Let's go.
That's right. We are bidding farewell to the chilly mountain weather and saying hello to sunshine as we drive to the southern shores of Pelabuhan Ratu. Sukabumi has a lot of potential in tourism that's worth visiting. Starting with its mountains, its waterfalls, beaches, tourism villages, and even its geopark. And it is here where we'll find one of Indonesia's 10 UNESCO-certified global geoparks. The Ciletuh Pelabuhan Ratu Geopark is renowned for its rare geological diversity and for being what many geologists consider as the first land of the Western Java island. It is also here where we'll find our first destination. And hey, doesn't that look familiar?
Now I know what you're thinking. Really? Again with the waterfalls? Give me a break. There's some really great waterfalls here in this region. And I promise you, if you're here, this is what you want to see. There's a bunch around, that you can check out. There's not just one or two, there's multiple. But for now, we're going to showcase one of the best, which is Curug Sodong.
Curug Sodong, or Sodong Waterfall, is one of around 15 or so waterfalls that you can visit here in Sukabumi. A region that is famous for its abundance of waterfalls. And this particular waterfall is special because you don't just get one waterfall, instead, you get two. Provided that you're open for a quick hike. Roughly 10 to 15 minutes from Curug Sodong lies another waterfall, which is the source of Curug Sodong stream. The hike itself wasn't particularly long, but the path is quite steep, so we recommend only able-bodied hikers for this journey. But once you make it to the top, you're in for a feast for the eyes. Because this is Curug Cikanteh, or the Cikanteh Waterfall. As you reach the top of the falls, it truly feels like you've just stepped into a painting. The main waterfall stretches so high up, it feels like it's touching the clouds. Its stream rushing violently into the main reservoir, creating gusts of wind and ejecting water particles in all directions. The sheer scale of it all is magnificent. And after all that sweat from the hike, a dip in the pool is exactly what I needed.
To be honest, I didn't expect this. Now, while the uppermost part of the waterfall is rather dangerous, I don't recommend you going there and swimming there. But here, though, this is where it's at. So it looks like the current's really strong and trying to push me like off the waterfall, but it's not. It's actually really calm and it's very easy to get to these places. So it's like you have a bunch of private pools all to yourself. And not only that, you get to relax and also take in all that gorgeous views. Check them out.
As I've said before, Sukabumi is home to many gorgeous waterfalls. But this one has by far been my favorite one of the trips. It was honestly so relaxing to just chill right here, especially since not many people bother to take the rather difficult trek up. But alas, we've still got a lot more places to see and a whole lot of things left to do. And so, begrudgingly, I bid adieu to my sky-high sanctuary and turned in for the night.
See the beauty only on See Indonesia. See the beauty only on See Indonesia.
After spending all of yesterday relaxing at the waterfalls of Ciletuh, today we're heading up north where we'll be working for our vacation. Because in this next destination, we'll be learning about how to harvest and process a very special type of grain native to Southeast Asia called hanjeli.
Alright, so we're here at Desa Wisata Hanjeli, or the Hanjeli Tourism Village. Now this village centers around its namesake, which is hanjeli, also known as Job's tears or adli, which is a very versatile type of grain that can be used to produce all kinds of things, from different types of food to accessories. So hopefully we'll learn some more about how to harvest and also produce those goods, and we'll start with how it's made into food. Lagi good ya, Bu?
Upon our arrival, we were given a very warm welcome as we were treated to some sweet homemade hanjeli porridge. Which was warm, creamy, and delicious. During our breakfast, we were also joined by university students who were currently participating in a community service program for the village, as well as the local villagers. the Hanjali Tourism Village was founded by Asep Hidayat Mustafa, a Sukabumi native who was passionate about preserving the special crop, as well as providing employment for former migrant workers such as himself.
Kebetulan kami mendirikan Desa Wisata Hanjali ini kisaran tahun 2015-2016. Tapi kalau khusus untuk riset Hanjalinya, kami dimulai dari tahun 2010 kan.
After our quick breakfast, we headed straight to the fields to learn exactly how to plant and harvest the Hanjali crop.
Kami juga fokus kepada mantan buruh migran. Kebetulan saya sendiri mantan buruh migran, jadi kami punya satu ikatan emosional yang memang harus mereka tidak berangkat lagi ke Timur Tengah, tapi minimal mereka bisa stay di kampung bersama keluarga, bersama anak, bersama suami yang lainnya, biar lebih produktif di kampung mereka bisa tinggal itu.
For Asep, the reason to focus on harvesting Hanjali was simple. The grain was quite simply way better compared to rice.
Yang utama ya karena kandungan gizinya yang sangat luar biasa. Ini bayangkan Hanjali itu kalau misalkan dibandingkan dengan beras biasa, beras sawah, itu proteinnya 2 kali lipat daripada beras biasa gitu. Dan dia rendah karbo dibanding beras, termasuk dengan kalsiumnya. Kalsiumnya hampir 3 kali lipat daripada beras biasa. Ini yang menjadi kami semangat untuk mengembangkan Hanjali ke depannya biar terus sustain dalam pengembangannya.
Everything I've heard so far makes me believe Hanjali is some kind of super crop that is better than rice in every way. It even tastes just as good or even better than rice. So, my question is, why aren't more people cultivating it?
Hanjali ini sebetulnya dia tahan terhadap hama, ya hamanya sedikit. Cuman yang jadi masalah, si Hanjali ini tumbuhnya dari mulai tanam sampai panen itu bisa sampai 6 bulan. Dan ini yang menjadi kata kunci kenapa Hanjali tidak banyak diminati oleh orang-orang banyak untuk dikembangbiakan atau dibudidayakan. Karena lama prosesnya ini yang menjadi masalah gitu. Seandainya Hanjali bisa sampai 3-4 bulan, saya yakin bisa menggeser beberapa pangan-pangan yang lain kan.
After we learned how to plant and harvest the Hanjali crop, we moved on to how to actually process the raw materials into food products and other goods. You see, Hanjali can also be made into various different types of accessories. A process which I was able to experience firsthand. And if you're better with your hands than I am, then you might be able to turn Hanjali into these stylish looking bracelets or necklaces. But of course, Hanjali is harvested mainly to be produced into food. Hanjali can effectively be a substitute for rice, and thus can be made into all the dishes that are usually made with rice, such as porridge and fried crackers.
Okay, so now we can finally sit down and enjoy our hard work. So right here, we have the finished product. So I'm told that a quarter plate of Hanjali can actually be more filling than a full plate of rice. So I'm gonna put that right to the test.
This pot of Hanjali was cooked into liwet, which is a Sundanese style of dish that is usually done to rice, in which the rice is cooked with a mixture of coconut milk, chicken broth, and other spices. After giving it a taste, I can say that the Hanjali was downright delicious, and as Asep assured me, incredibly filling. So much so that I had to grab another serving. This whole experience of planting, harvesting, and processing hanjali was not only satisfying, but also opened my eyes to the amount of incredible produce that is native to this land, but is otherwise underappreciated and constantly overshadowed by rice, which makes the village's goal of preserving and cultivating hanjali all the more important.
Ketika kita melestarikan ini, tujuannya ingin agar hanjali tetap masih ada sampai anak dan cucu kita masih bisa melihat dan bisa merasakan bagaimana nikmatnya mengolah atau menikmati sajian bubur hanjali atau liwet hanjali, bahkan produk-produk yang lainnya. Bila mana ini sudah hampir punah, kan kita hanya tinggal cita saja.
See the beauty only on See Indonesia.
Nothing like enjoying the sights and sounds of a beach in the early hours of the morning. We've been staying in this seaside town for a couple of days now. But for whatever reason, we've yet to spend some time on the beach. So, let's fix that, shall we? Today, we're off to spend some time at sea. The waters off the Ciletuh Bay are so clear and so calm. And most importantly for our purposes, secluded. But of course, we're not just gonna be goofing off out here. We're going to go visit a site of huge geological importance in Ciletuh, which is also a huge reason why this region was named a UNESCO Global Geopark in the first place. Many of the rock formations you see in Ciletuh are considered among the oldest rock formations on the surface of West Java, some of them as old as 50 million years. But before we dive into all of that, I'm eager to do some literal diving.
It's gorgeous out there. This might not be as visible as many other snorkeling spots in Indonesia, but nevertheless, it's still very gorgeous. See a lot of coral reefs and a good amount of fish too. And plus, you get a view, a very unique view of these little on-the-sea fisherman huts that apparently the local fishermen use to camp out the night while they get some fish. And best thing is, it's also really secluded here. It's very quiet, and I mean, it's basically just us right now, and it's so close to the beach. So after you're done snorkeling, you can head over there for a little chill time.
After getting my fill of the undersea life, we sailed back to shore to the nearby beach to continue our journey to see the ancient stones of the nearby islands. The trek was relatively easy, even though the terrain was not exactly the smoothest. But seeing the waves crash into these million-year-old rocks is truly magnificent.
This is the famous Kunti Cave. Now it is named that because the waves crashing onto the insides of the cave apparently create a sort of eerie, scary, laughing noise similar to a local folklore ghost, the kuntilanak. But of course that's not true, obviously. But what is true is how significant this cave and the surrounding rocks are, geologically speaking, because this land formation supposedly is one of the first land formations that ever popped up in the Java landmass. And this cave itself, it used to not be actually a cave, it used to be like a huge vertical slice of land, but eventually over tens of millions of years, around 60 to 50 millions of years, the constant waves eroded land, making this cave in the process. So it's definitely very significant. A lot of people apparently use this spot as a camping ground, although I don't think I'd recommend that.
And just like that, our adventures in Sukabumi comes to an end. Our journey began with just looking for something fun and quick to do for the weekend. But it's fair to say, we got a lot more than just a quick getaway. Sukabumi is more than meets the eye. On the surface, it's a tranquil and breathtaking land with beautiful natural scenery. But looking deeper, it's also a land of unbelievable significance. With passionate people who care about their home and who continue to preserve it for generations to come.